Hi, this is the Business Guy. So how do you protect your assets from losses? We're going to talk about 5 strategies that you can use to help you keep what's yours. The best asset protection strategies involve financial plans developed to shield valuables from losses. Now, these include analyzing the list of assets that need protected and determining which legal instrument or strategy would ideally protect each one. Examples include forming certain types of trusts and companies and taking advantage of regional laws designed to protect assets. And it can aid in achieving financial goals, though pre-planning your asset protection strategy is best. There are even ways to protect yourself after a lawsuit's already filed. And by the way, if you appreciate this information, please click the like button below so YouTube promotes this video. Thanks so much. And you can also click the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that when more videos come out like this one, you'll be up to date right away. 5 asset protection strategies. Here's a list of the 5 most common strategies for shielding assets from losses. Number 1 is use LLCs. Now, asset protection strategy number 1 is to use limited liability companies. LLC statutes include provisions that keep creditors from taking the company or the assets inside. The exclusive remedy in most cases is a charging order. The charging order says the creditor has a right to the distributions paid out of the LLC, but the creditor cannot force you to make such payments. Whoever has the right to receive the distributions is responsible for the taxes. That means you stick the creditor with the tax bill instead of an asset. Wyoming, Nevada, and Delaware have the most protective domestic statutes. Stronger yet is the Caribbean island of Nevis, which possesses potent ways to shield company holdings. Number 2, asset protection trusts. Now, this is considered the most powerful tool to protect money from lawsuits. The best asset protection trusts are formed offshore. How do they work? Local courts do not have jurisdiction over our foreign law firm that serves as the trustee. It ties the hands of the courts and the opponent's attorney. Now, there are domestic asset protection trusts, but the case law really does not look very good. We have seen them penetrated time and time again by results-oriented judges. So the strongest legal statutes are in the Cook Islands and Nevis. In fact, the offshore trust is one of the few asset protection strategies that work after a lawsuit's filed. We almost always put an offshore LLC inside of the trust. The LLC holds the bank account. That way, you can serve as the LLC manager and account signatory until you need our international law firm to step in and protect you. Suppose a judge orders you to turn over the money. Our offshore law firm is not under your judge's jurisdiction, so our law firm can legally refuse to comply. Now, this strategy works best for liquid assets you hold safely in international institutions. In fact, we are told that we have set up more offshore trusts than any such firm in the nation. We know of no client of ours that has lost money from a lawsuit using this structure. Number 3, own nothing personally. There are legal tools that keep creditors from seizing what's yours. When you get sued personally, most assets in your name are vulnerable. So we're not really saying not to own anything. We're saying not to hold non-exempt assets in your own name. Why? Because the first thing that a contingent fee attorney does when thinking about suing you is do an asset search. Own a car? Why not own it in a title holding trust to keep your name out of the public records? Own or might own rental property? Why not hold it in a land trust for privacy of ownership? Then you can hold the land trust in an LLC for lawsuit protection and asset protection. Have a sizable savings or investment account? Hold it in your own name. If so, the opposing attorney getting to your assets is like shooting geese in a pond. When you hold it in a proper asset protection trust, you have access, but your opponent does not. Moreover, when you pass away, your trust names your heirs as trust beneficiaries. The bottom line, since there are legal tools to help you keep what's yours, why not use them? Number 4, use separate legal tools. Another one of the key asset protection strategies is to separate your assets into different legal tools. That way, they don't all fall like dominoes in one judgment. Each asset is in its own separate cubbyhole. Experts agree you should not own investment real estate in your own name. When someone sues you, you could potentially lose all of it. Holding real estate in an LLC is a good idea, but what if there is a tragic accident that surpasses your insurance? This is very common. So why not own each piece of real estate in a separate LLC? That way, you isolate your liability to one property at a time. Thus, a lawsuit on one of your rental properties doesn't topple your entire real estate empire. And number 5, don't flaunt your wealth. What's better, to look rich or to be rich? Now, it may feel good to have your neighbors know you're doing well, but ostentatious displays of wealth breed more jealousy than admiration anyway. Flash your cash, and you might as well wear a big neon "Sue Me" sign around your neck. Hey, lawyers need to take food off of your table in order to put it onto theirs, right? And trust us, they have as much sympathy for you as a hungry pack of lions has for the baby gazelle. There are no feelings. You're just their next meal. Your profession. Your profession also determines your level of risk, as well as which of the asset protection strategies we need to employ. If you're a physician, an attorney, an accountant, or in the real estate industry, your needs are likely greater than a typical desk employee. Speaking of employees, no matter what profession you're in, if you have employees, you have liability. We have spoken with business people who have been falsely accused of discrimination, sexual harassment, and wrongful termination. Others have experienced tragedies where an employee has died in a car accident or employee mishap at work. If your love was on the rocks, an expensive divorce could cost you a tremendous amount in legal fees in addition to the division of your assets. Your assets could be cut in half. In fact, one of our employees who's an attorney had this happen to him in a divorce before he joined us. The judge gave her everything, not half, everything. The judge says, "You're an attorney. You can earn it all back." Judges don't always follow the law, so there are always ways to protect yourself from such a life-disrupting scenario. Hiding assets. Can you hide assets? Now, there are some ways you can make it very difficult for all but the most determined of creditors to find out what you have. The important thing to know, though, is this. Hiding is one thing, protecting is another. A thorough deposition can uncover most hidden assets. So there are ways to hide assets, but if you want to protect them, even if somebody finds them, they remain safe and secure for your use in the future. What to protect? So what do you have to protect? Do you have liquid assets, a personal residence, investment real estate, automobiles? What you have to protect will determine which legal tools you need to use. It will also guide us as to whether you need domestic or offshore asset protection strategies or both. Where you live also makes a difference. Florida has 100% homestead protection for primary residences. New Jersey has 0. California residences tend to have more value than houses in other parts of the country. They did adjust this recently, but the amount of homestead exemption in that state, however, does not sufficiently reflect the elevated values for many people in many counties. And like I said, this is true in most cases, even with the recent revisions. Asset protection attorney. The topic of asset protection is generally not a focus of instruction in law schools. The reason is that it is counter to the profession. The more educated people are on the securing of their wealth, the less lucrative it is to the legal profession. That's why many attorneys are not schooled in this topic. In fact, we've established legal tools for attorneys and their clients for several decades. Are you in a vulnerable profession or simply a person who needs to take protective measures for himself? There are knowledgeable, skilled attorneys and consultants on our staff who can discuss your needs. You can visit assetprotectionplanners.com and fill out a free consultation form for more information. Customize asset protection strategies. Customizing an asset protection strategy is done when you establish specific legal tools to hold your assets. Each legal vehicle represents state, federal, or foreign laws that aids in one's ability to protect personal assets from specific risk. For example, Florida homestead laws are great for creditors, but it does not provide asset protection in a divorce. So we create a strategy that's based on the risks of the individual seeking protection. Plus, the proper asset protection strategy really depends on where the person lives. Take action. Knowing the best asset protection strategies to secure your assets alone won't help. You actually need to set up the proper legal tools and use them if you want financial security for the legal predators out there. So make the call, educate yourself, then take action on the asset protection strategies that are right for you. You can call us at 1-954-400-1050 or visit us at assetprotectionplanners.com. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching. See you next time. This is The Business Guy.